I'm Mark Bell, and we're going to talk about why your diet doesn't work. A lot of people have tried a lot of diets, and here in America, people are actually very successful at losing weight. But what often happens to people is they regain the weight back, and sometimes they regain the weight and then some. And this is due to something called the fat paradox. When these fat cells start to shrink down super fast and you do things to yourself where you're not eating a lot of food and where you're exercising a lot and you're moving more and eating less, you do these things for a little while and they're not really sustainable for you, and you do so in a very quick fashion. Those fat cells will want to shrink down very quickly, but those fat cells have some bands attached to them almost. And as they shrink down really quickly, they're going to be ready to rebound back the second that you introduce some of the old habits that you had previously. Most of the time, it's really difficult for people to stay on the diet. And so let's talk about that part, because I'm of the opinion that all diets work. Compliance is the science, so how do we get you to comply to something? The number one thing that's going to help people comply to any sort of nutritional intervention is going to be able to smash hunger. You have to shoot hunger out of the sky continuously all day, every day. Hunger, cravings, you know who deals with it? Everybody. But I think one of the best things that you can do is you can eat a lot of food, eat tons of food, but it has to be food that's on whatever plan it is that you chose. Whether you chose a keto style diet, or whether you chose a carnivore diet, or whether you chose to utilize if it fits your macros or flexible dieting, it really doesn't matter what you chose, but you made a choice, because remember what I said in the beginning, all diets will work. It's just a matter of whether we can comply with them. The two reasons why people don't comply with them is because they're tired of restricting the food and they have tons of cravings. So the next thing that we have is protein leveraging. Eat a crazy amount of protein. Eat a lot of protein. If you gave yourself just two simple rules, if I was to give you two simple rules, if I said, hey, you know what? I'll give you 3 rules. How about that? Throw one more in there. 3 rules. Eat twice a day. That would be rule number 1. Eat twice a day. The next rule would be eat 1 gram per pound of body weight in protein every day. And the next thing would be throw in 20 grams of fiber coming from vegetables. Now you have a condensed eating window if you were to put both of those meals anywhere near each other. So we ended up with some intermittent fasting, and now the actual food choices that you make are going to start to matter a little bit less. They always matter, but they're going to start to matter a little bit less. It sounds odd, it sounds weird, but when you're frustrated, it feels so good to think about some of the people that have doubted you throughout your life, and this is an opportunity to stick it to them. How many people think that you're always going to be fat? Probably a lot of people. When you tell people that you're on a diet, that you're on a plan, they're like, yep. Yeah, we heard that. We heard that before. I was going to be like last time, you're going to lose 30 pounds and you're going to give up and you're going to gain 40. Like, we know how this goes. Like, just going to sit back and look at the old watch and see how long it takes you to be fatter than you are right now. That's what people sometimes think of you, because they've seen it happen in the past. Prove them wrong. Prove yourself right. Every single day is an opportunity to improve yourself for yourself and prove yourself to yourself. And as you start to work through these things, you're going to start to feel really, really good about yourself. And as funny as it may sound, I want you to think about these decisions that you make on a daily basis about, is this going to make me proud of myself? That's what we need to work on. Is this decision going to make me proud of myself? How does it help? How does it hurt? Is it going to make you proud of yourself to eat stuff that you didn't write out, or eat stuff that you didn't plan for? It's not going to be helpful. It's not going to do what you think it does. However, it does kind of work. When you're stressed and you have a beer or you have wine, it feels amazing. When you're stressed and you have pizza, it feels awesome. But it's only temporary and it's not working you towards your goals. You will feel a lot better in the journey, and you will feel a lot better in your weight loss, is as you go through it, it's not so much about the weight loss itself. It's not so much about getting to this end destination of, hey, I lost 80 pounds. It's what it can make of you to get to that point. It's during the journey. It's all those disciplines. Those disciplines will cascade into other areas of your life. They will cascade downward, and they will cascade upward into all aspects of your life, including business, relationships. Everything will improve if you improve. And this is an opportunity for personal development. You get to develop yourself and mold yourself through diet and through exercise. Sometimes when it comes to nutrition, people really struggle with committing all the way to it. And if you're somebody that struggles with committing to it, welcome to the club, because the thing that you're having a hard time committing to is ever thinking that any of this is going to be really, really hard. It will have a difficulty level to it, but I got some really good news for you. As you do it, you're going to gain strength, just like you do in the gym. You pick up a resistance in the gym, and over a period of time, that 45-pound barbell now feels like virtually nothing. As you start to scale up, and as you start to improve, and as you make better decisions each and every day, there's so many opportunities in a given day to make better advancements and better choices with your food. When you make better choices with your food, you're improving your habits over and over again. Over a period of time, that gets to be a lot easier. So the thing that you're thinking about embarking on, and you're not buying into the whole thing, you're not buying into the whole thing because you told yourself that it was going to be too hard. And that's actually not the case. There's going to be work that needs to be done. There's going to be some changes that need to be made. But this is not hard. It's actually going to be very simple. A 10-minute walk is very simple. The expectations that you have for yourself, I think, is another reason why people fall off sometimes on these diets. They are expecting too much of themselves. You can't go and change. I don't want to say can't. It's not a great word. I don't like to see people doing 5 different things in order to change the way that they look all at once, unless you are a veteran dieter, unless you've done this stuff before. But for most people, the expectations of your diet are too great. You have this idea that you're going to be able to take on 5, 6, 7 new things starting on Monday. That's what everybody always says, right? When I do this on Monday, I'm going to go keto. I'm not going to eat any carbs. I'm going to do cardio. I'm going to lift. I'm going to do 2-day workouts. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to look amazing in 1 month. Those are unrealistic expectations. You most likely will have a very hard time in following that. We want things to be so simple, we want things to be so easy that they're really hard to say no to. The last thing in terms of expectations is, I think that you just think that you're going to perpetually lose weight. You're just going to be going whoosh, like slashing the weight down. And that's not the way that weight loss works. You most likely are going to lose weight the way that I did, in stages. And I think that's the most effective way to keep the weight off, is to do so in stages. It's going to take a really long time, but you're probably going to go from, let's say, 300 pounds down to 270. You'll probably go from 270 to 285. You'll probably go from 285 down to like 260. You'll probably go from 260 to 270. You'll probably go from 270 to 250, and from 250 you might creep up a little bit, and so forth, all the way until you get down to whatever that goal weight is of 220 pounds. But that chart is going to kind of look a little bit all over the place, but the entire time, the key is that it was trending downward. And another key here is that whatever weights you were previously, you kiss those goodbye, and you make an agreement with yourself. You say, you know what? I am never, no matter how much stress comes my way in my life, no matter if somebody really close to me dies or whatever happens, I will never allow myself to be X amount of weight. You pick the number. As you continue to lose weight, you pick another number. As you continue to lose weight, you pick another number. You say, I'm never going to be 260 when you're 240. When you're 220, you say, I'm never going to be 250 again. Give yourself some wiggle room, because you want to have a little wiggle room there in case something does happen, in case life gives you in the case life throws you a real knuckleball, you'll be prepared for it. Strength is never weakness, weakness is never strength. Catch you guys later.